You are about to witness bodily dismemberment, sub-zero temperatures, and all-out mayhem. Brought to you by the Frontline Network.
Sup, COH fans, and welcome to episode 18 of Frontline Fatalities Season 3, brought to you by the Frontline Network, presented by me, FatalSaint, and IpKaiFung. Welcome back to the show, IpKai. What's up?
Hello, thanks for having me on again. Glad to do another cast with you guys. Should be fun, this one.
Yeah, another Company of Heroes 2 casting incoming for you guys between Spanky, who will be playing the Soviets, against his German opponent, who will be who? Which will be who, I should say.
Oh, sorry, it's Stoffa.
Stoffa will be playing the Germans on Longriskaya. No winter today, it's the spring version, or summer version. Which one is it, actually?
I think both is fine. I'll just say summer, because it looks very orange.
It does look a bit orange, yeah. So, without further ado, we are at the 5-second mark, ready to go?
Yep, let's go.
Unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So it's going to be interesting to see how this battle plays out on Longriskaya between Spanky and Stoffa. Both very good players. They're somewhere around, rank 100 or so, I think, with both factions. So they've played both factions, so they know what's gonna be going on most likely and how to counter stuff.
Yeah, I think they're both around that mark. So very competent players. So Stoffa has gone for tier 1 opening. He does have mechanized assault, which allows him to have assault grenadiers, although I don't think he's opted to go for them in this game.
They were changed after the initial implementation from being only manpower to now costing munitions as well, is that right?
They were for a bit, then they changed them back to being manpower only.
Alright.
So now they cost, what was it, 320 manpower to call in.
Okay, so they're a bit more pricey then, I guess.
Yeah, they are. They're they used to, what was it, 280 they used to be. Then they reduced it to 250 munitions.
Yeah.
200 manpower, sorry, and 50 munitions. Now they're 320 manpower to call in.
So maybe it's not plausible anymore to just skip tier 1, just going for assault grens until you can go for a quick tier 2, or all the way to tier 3 maybe.
It is still possible now. You do lose out on a little bit of map control, and what the Soviet players should do is try and avoid the assault grenadiers. Try, because they will beat the conscripts, handedly. So I mean, what they'll try and do is avoid them at all costs, at the start.
Yeah, just basically play ring around the roses around the hedge or something and be extremely annoying.
Yeah.
Just stay away from them.
The problem is that it's still, when you get your third conscript out, you will have a third assault grenadier squad out around the same time.
Yeah.
So the issue really is that they don't have any build time. You just call them out, and they come out. And that's the real issue with them.
I guess the cooldown for using the call-in ability isn't really long enough to hinder you from getting one instantly after getting an additional 320 manpower after calling one in.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's the same thing. That's why the Ostrupen commander is also very potent, because they can just call in unit after unit after unit. The cooldown's very short.
Yeah.
So
we did have very aggressive initial placement of the combat engineers from Spanky. He went all the way down outside of the German base to stop the pioneers capping the munitions, and they did manage to get it due to a grenadier squad coming to back them up, and he hopped in the building, and Stoffa just opted out of the engagement and kept capping, and then he went and grabbed a cutoff. So he really doesn't want his German opponent to get any munitions whatsoever, or at least try to hinder him as much as possible. What do you think about that playstyle?
Yeah, no, it's a good idea, because you don't want LMGs on grenadiers, and you want to slow down the flamer half track, because with the flamer half track, the only option you really have as Soviets, I find, is that you have to have guards, and that means you have to commit to a commander.
Yeah,
So,
that bottlenecks you to using a certain few commanders that actually offers you guards, I guess. So you can't go for the ones with shock troops and KV8s and all that other nasty stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, they've got useful things. So that's what you want to do. You want to try and to delay the flame half track. You also don't want the Gren to have as many LMGs as possible, because conscripts have no chance against grenadiers with LMGs.
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I do usually see quite a lot of LMG usage on the Grenadiers still, and they've always been very popular, I think, for 60 munitions. A very sturdy upgrade on a very durable platform.
Yeah, I mean, the damage goes up, I think, exponentially when they get them. So nearly every burst, because when the machine gun fires, every shot is directed at one model. You'll probably kill one, when I say model, one man, sorry, in the squad.
One man, yeah.
Yeah, that man will probably die because all the bullets will hit that guy in the squad.
We did have a 3 conscript Molotov build from Spanky so far. He's not adding on a 4th conscript. He did retreat his combat engineers after losing out to a pioneer on the bottom left hand side fuel, and his combat engineers are now in the base, but he is going to be getting some healing at his HQ, so the field headquarters is coming up, and at the same time Stoffa's got what? I see Grens, loads of Grens. I saw an MG before, it's hovering around the base now.
Yeah, he went Gren, MG, Gren. He's teched up to tier 2 now, but he's not built the tier 2 building yet. I think he'll probably go, yeah, he's going to start building it now in a second.
So do you think that's a common build order? 3 Gurns on 1 MG? You know, 4 unit tier 1 has always been very common, I see, generally at least.
Yeah, that's something. I do that personally as well.
Yeah, I do that as well.
It's very very flexible. As well, I mean, tier 2, you might not even have to build anything out of tier 2 sometimes. You can just have it there, you know, so if you need a pack, I can build a pack, you know, if a vehicle comes out.
Yeah.
But I mean, he shouldn't worry too much. I don't think he'll have a T-70 out around this time. You know, personally, around the 5.5 minute mark, I wouldn't think there'd be a vehicle coming out, except for an M3. But then if an M3 comes out now, I can just get a scout car and destroy it then.
Yeah, you already have the counter required, and you won't be facing an M3 as quickly as you can get a scout car out nowadays. You know, unless someone's crazy enough to do a tier 1 opening, but it's not something you very rarely see nowadays. I saw players like Siberian play around quite a lot with a tier 1 opening for the Soviets, but they've all basically stopped doing that.
Yeah, I think when you go tier 1, you have to have guards for your anti-vehicle. And then, you know, that commits you to a commander. And as well as that, the scout car, the German scout car does very well against most of the units in tier 1.
Yeah, sniper, M3.
The sniper, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I've seen a lot...
the penal battalions that no one ever builds. Do you see them?
I don't see penals, and the main reason is, I mean, on paper I've seen on spreadsheets that they do really good damage, but the thing is that economically they're not really that viable. They're 360 manpower. I mean, you can use merge to reinforce them, so that cuts down on the cost. But as well as that, it's a time they come out. If you went to build a penal battalion off the bat, it would take about 2 minutes to get one out.
Yeah.
You know, and that takes too long. I mean, in 2 minutes, you could have had 3 conscripts, and that loses so much map control if you go for that.
Indeed, yeah, I agree. It's very, very, very risky to do something like that. We do have the Flammenwerfer on the field now for Stoffa, and I don't think that Spanky will be very happy with his choice of calling in a shock troop squad. But he called it in before he saw the Flamer half track, and now he's going to have to wait and save up manpower to get an AT gun out of his tier 2, which he opted to build. No tier 1 for Spanky, so tier 2. Something that I see very often nowadays, people building the sys guns, which people before, just a few months ago, thought were completely and utterly useless. And no one ever built sys guns, unless in team games to use the barrage ability and stuff like that, but... You know, a lot of people said that both the sys and the pack, they just missed too often, they were too random, and, you know, they weren't powerful enough. It got a damage boost and everything a couple of patches ago.
Well, no, it didn't actually get a damage boost. It got an accuracy
A long time
increase.
ago, I mean. A long time ago, it got that from 80 to 160, I think.
80, I thought they were always 160, but...
No, they were 80 in beta. You know, I'm talking a long time ago. And no one ever built AT guns. They just, like, they were a joke, and it was like, no, no way, and everybody went tier 1, you know, with the M3s and snipers.
I think it's because tier 1 was too powerful.
Yeah.
And now that got nerfed a bit, because there was a few changes as well. I mean, tier 1 got reduced, the scout car got better, guards are still decent at anti-vehicle. The thing that changed them a lot is their anti-infantry capability, because what they removed was the stun on the PTRS.
Yeah, the infantry jumping around due to the splash of the PTRS hitting the ground. And
that was a really big change, because the that stunned that squad basically, so they couldn't fire back.
Yeah.
And that is actually quite a big, big thing, really.
Yeah, it turned the PTRS rifles into like an anti-infantry weapon as well as an AT weapon, light AT, all white, but still, it was still good against infantry, just due to that one fact that it would just spaz out the enemy squad and it would just jump around on the ground instead of shooting at the guards. And then with DPs, they did quite a lot of damage. We did have a Gren squad go down on the left-hand side. Here comes the Flammenwerfer in from behind, trying to roast some conscripts. I believe there will be an 18-aid throw there from that conscript squad. Instant retreat after delivering the 18-aid. Let's see what kind of an engine damage he got. Normal engine damage. So he should be able to just drive out of that zone. Conscript torched on retreat. So 1 Gren down for Stoffa, 1 conscript down for Spanky.
Yeah, and Spanky put MG bunker on the natural VP of not Spanky, sorry. Stoffa put a MG bunker on the natural VP of Spanky, so it's now harder for him to get out of his base.
Yeah,
from that angle.
We did have Spanky's conscript squad that just died down at the left-hand side fuel on retreat to the Flammenwerfer, actually go harassing that VP over there instead of trying to reclaim the one in the north outside of the Soviet base. Clearly, it must have been due to that MG bunker.
Yeah, Stoffa has about a minute ago he did go to tier 3, or Battlefield Phase 2. So he's going to start building his Panzer factory now. I think that's what it's called. Soon. So there'll be tier 3 vehicles in a few minutes now.
Yeah, we do have the first his gun out for Spanky. He did manage to save up enough manpower to field one of those huge guns from the Soviet arsenal. So he'll have something against this bunker and the Flammenwerfer as well, and future P4s. Lots of bunkers going down for Stoffa. One on the left-hand side as well, just to cover both exits. So the only way Spanky can really exit his base right now without destroying these bunkers is through an MG, which is basically camping his cutoff. And the entire map, apart from one strategic point to the left-hand side of the Soviet base, is now capped by Stoffa. So his income must be through the roof.
Yeah, he's got 45 fuel per minute and 73 munitions per minute at the moment. So, and he's sitting on 180 fuel and 180 ammo right now.
He'll have no problem fielding anything from tier 3 then.
Yeah, it's just the manpower will be his rate limiting factor at the moment.
Oh yeah. What do you think he'll opt for going? What would you get in this case? You've not seen any armor. You now see a sys gun shooting at your bunker and destroying it on the right-hand side of the map here. You go for a P4 anyways, or? Yeah,
I go for P4. Go for the P4. It's always a safe bet. And
what about an Ostwind?
It's just in case, because I mean, there might be a chance that there would be a T-34 coming out, and the Ostwind, although it doesn't die very fast, it doesn't do too well against it. So P4 is a safe bet, and then when the next vehicle comes, the resources come in for another vehicle, then I'd get an Ostwind, depending on what comes in next. So P4 is good all-rounder, really.
Going the safe route first, getting the P4, just in case. The P4 can still handle infantry somewhat. It's not as devastating to infantry like an Ostwind is, but it can still hurt them quite a bit, and you can get some very nice bullseye hits with a P4 against infantry as well.
Yeah, it's just a good all-rounder, very good. It's got very good AT ability. It's got okay anti-infantry, so it's something to go for. I think that's always a safe first build. I mean, you go for an Ostwind, very risky. Now there's 2 AT guns as well. He's going to try and creep forward.
Spanky's doing a bit of a AT gun wall creep. It's like Vico style coming here from the US player Spanky. I know he likes playing US in a couple of years one.
Yeah, I mean, what I would go for now, I've seen the AT guns, I would actually get a mortar half-track or a mortar.
Yeah, not a bad idea. You know, classic counter, getting indirect fire against the stationary support weapons like AT guns, MGs, and stuff like that.
Yeah. There's also another thing as well, is that because less Soviet players are going tier 1, the German snipers are very good build as well to get around this time.
Yeah. Oh, Flammenwerfer is coming in, but there is overlapping AT guns. He needs to set up the second one. He gets around the first one. Oh, very nice. He gets one hit off on it, but I believe he might be protected by the hedge now from the second one, and there's no conscripts in the vicinity. There's a shock troop squad fighting valiantly against basically the entire infantry division of the German enemy Stoffa now on the right-hand side of Longriskaya Summer. Enough to kill that Flammenwerfer when he got stuck between the hedge and AT gun.
Yeah, that was, I'd say, a bit lucky to get away with that, because it was also really close to getting the Vet 2, and that makes it really hard to kill, because it has like a what was it, a 0.45 damage modifier at Vet 2.
Here comes the P4 now.
Yeah.
P4 on the pin from Stoffa, and second shock troop squad called in for Spanky. Maybe a bad ID, maybe a brilliant ID, who knows, you know, only time will tell, but at the same time, the first squad he has did some real legwork there. He forced off the P-Gren squad, a Pio squad trying to decrew the AT gun, and then fought against 2 Grenadiers without LMGs, but still with some veterancy, but still came out on top. What do you think about shock troops?
They're good, but I find that I can't really support 2 squads because they're such a big drain. I mean, they're 440 to call in, and they're about 37 to reinforce per man, and I can add up quite a lot over the course of the game.
Yeah, every time you lose a man on a shock trooper squad, it's just like, ugh, gonna put a dent in my manpower income right there.
Yeah, I know. Now he sees the tank as well. I don't know. It was a good idea. I mean, he has to play really well with the AT guns, you know, to try and just deny the tank movement. I mean, what I think I really would have done as Stoffa would not be to be so aggressive with his P4, but just to stop them getting more territory. You know, trying to
use that in support with your infantry just to stop the advance of Spanky right now, just capping the, you know, the whole right-hand side is falling back into his hand. He's got the fuel, he's getting munitions. P4 gets taken out, trying to run away from these 2 AT guns. Thankfully, Spanky went with the 2 AT guns. Otherwise, it would have been over already with the 1 AT gun getting decrewed by the Flammenwerfer, and then the P4 would have hit. It just would have been over right there. So, good choice from Spanky, not getting only 1 sys gun, but 2 of them.
Yeah, it was a good choice.
But risky as well, because he was underpowered for a while there, especially after losing one of the conscript squads.
Oh, and this PG squad's down, yeah. Got killed on retreat.
Grenade in the building at the Grens, only kills 1 man though.
Yeah. You can also use a smoke grenades to trick people to jump out of buildings as well. That's always funny too.
Oh yeah, it is cheaper. How much is a smoke grenade?
It is
15, and the normal one is 30.
Yeah, so half the price. Depends. But also as well, what you can do is drop the smoke grenade on the building and then cap a point, and they can't shoot at you from the building.
Oh yes, throw it in front of the windows of the building or whatever, and it's just not gonna hit anything.
Yeah. So I mean, you can cap the point safely then.
Conscripts with Urag get close enough, I believe, to throw a Molotov here at the MG in the center. They don't seem to be wanting to do that. He's just gonna use them to be able to flank that MG with the shock troops, but Stoffa sees it coming and retreats well in time to actually save the lives of that support crew. Second P4, is there a P4? Another P4 from Stoffa out on the field.
Yeah.
What do you think about this decision right now? He's seen 2 shock trooper squads and 2 AT guns, you know.
I think I would have went for Nostman now, because I thought like, I don't think he's going to get a vehicle out now. He's got 2 shock troopers, he's got 2 AT guns, and I'm thinking he's probably really low on manpower. I don't think he's able to get any vehicles out in the immediate future. So I would have got an Ostwind and then maybe a pack.
Yeah, he's been dealing quite a lot of damage with the shock troops to Stoffa's infantry, and he hasn't actually retreated them until now to reinforce. So he's sitting on a bit of a manpower bank right now, but he's going to go down for going to go down a little bit now as he's going to be reinforcing these shock troops, which are quite expensive. Yeah, he goes from 700 down to below 600.
Yeah, and Stoffa's got nearly 500 manpower, 130 fuel. You could build another vehicle as well. You know, an
maybe go
Ostwind
for
now.
that combination, P4 Ostwind combo, and then you know combine with infantry obviously, and if he has a bit of a munitions bank still, is that the case?
Yeah, he's got 260 munitions.
Oh, so like a couple of rifle nades. He's given some LMGs to his Soviet 2 Grand Squad here, for example.
Yeah.
You know, get a second vehicle and then do a combined attack, because as we saw before with the first P4, it attacked, you know, solo on its own without support, and it got taken out by 2 AT guns because he had nothing to decrew the AT guns with apart from the P4 itself, and it's not that great. Not compared to an Ostwind, which can really decrew a support weapon extremely fast.
Yeah, they're really good at that. Really good at the handling men too. I should note as well, Stoffa has gone for the Assault Support Commander, which everybody has at level 45, I think.
Oh, it's the one with the strafe?
Yeah, the one with the strafe, the Blitz Opal truck, the Field Commander, the Tiger, and the Fragmentation Bomb.
Oh, there's a truck now. Yeah, I haven't seen
Yeah.
the trucks for quite a long time.
Yeah, I mean, they're okay. I mean, they got increased in cost. They got increased to 300 manpower, but they actually provide the role of ammo OP and the fuel OP at the same time. So they're actually really, they're not too bad for the cost.
Yeah, not too
But
bad at all.
yeah. But I don't know if that was a good. I would have built another combat unit really, personally. And ooh, this P4 is not in a good spot.
It's trying to deal some damage to the Soviet infantry while fighting continues in the center with all of the Soviet infantry from Spanky just basically surging in right here. He's trying to get this MG away from the center. It's doing some nice work. Molotov goes in on it, and the shock troops are actually crawling into the fire of their comrades' Molotov that was thrown. LMG Grants comes out ahead. It's the only infantry squad left standing in the center. AT guns are retreating back. I always like to see that from some of the higher tier players. Sometimes you can see quite a lot that people leave their AT guns, you know, when their infantry is doing a massive retreat due to suppression, for example, or vehicles, and they don't have anti-AT, and they do the infantry retreat, and then they leave their AT guns, just, you know, just like prey for the infantry to decrew.
Yeah, that's quite a bad move, leaving them unsupported. But no, that's good, moving them back to safety. I mean, Stoffa's got 180 ammo. I mean, he could use a strafe. He can actually use a cluster bomb, but actually, he's 10 fuel away from getting a Tiger rep.
Oh.
Now, so
He's
got enough CPs.
He's at
for
5
it.
CPs?
Yes, he's at 5 CPs.
Oh, what is this now? Clusters?
That's a cluster bomb. Yeah, he didn't hit anything.
No, that was too bad, actually.
No, that wasn't a good one. But yeah, I think in another 100 manpower, he will have a Tiger.
So Tiger combined with this P4 and a bit of a better munitions and fuel income from the truck as well. He might be starting up a bit of a comeback right here, because it feels like Spanky is taking control over the battle a little bit, but at the same time he's down by VPs. 270 remains for Spanky, 437 for Stoffa, which is, you know, he's only been drained a few VPs so far for the 21.5 minutes already into this game.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a good spot. He just has to try and get the middle VP back and maybe get some more of the territory on the right back. I think that maybe that initial loss of that P4, the first one he had, the loss of that actually set him back quite a bit. He didn't need to lose it.
Yeah, I agree. It was a reckless move from Stoffa trying to, you know, run in. And I'm pretty sure he knew there were 2 AT guns, because he was shot by the second AT gun trying to decrew the first AT gun with his Flammenwerfer just before sending in the P4 that came onto the field after the Flammenwerfer went down.
Yeah,
so that was reckless, in my opinion. Here's the Tiger now from Stoffa. 1 P4, 1 Tiger against 2 Sis guns. Not exactly sure he's going to be in this matchup, but I think that Stoffa's a bit ahead now.
Yeah, maybe. It depends.
Obviously, he can't park in front of an AT gun for 2 minutes. That's not going to work. But with infantry support, it's going to be good.
Spanky has put down a lot of mines, so he has to be really careful. If he does hit them by one of those vehicles, then they're dead in the water. So he has to be really cautious of that. I'm not sure what commander Spanky has gone. I noticed that before I loaded up, he had shock rifle, which is the one with the IS-2.
Yeah, he's got the one with shock troops, vehicle detection, cosmic repair package, ISU 152, and the bombing strike.
Alright, so he might be saving for the ISU then.
Yeah, I think he is. He's got 900 manpower, he's got quite a lot of fuel in his bank, 283. ISU requires 290, so he's just waiting for 5 more fuel right now.
That P4 goes down, grenade and AT gun. And these shock troops in the mid just chewing everything up.
They just won't die. Grenade on MG, it turns. Wow, it did no damage.
Yeah,
it was thrown right next to it. I think it was thrown at the Pios, maybe, I'm not sure.
The infamous shock trooper grenade doing no damage, as usual.
Here comes the ISU now, and Stoffa goes directly for the fuel on the right-hand side, but it is too little, too late. He still got the left-hand side fuel in his possession, and he had no problem getting the remaining 5 fuel to get this ISU 152 on the field. And it will be looking to take its first shot, I think, on this MG and the Pios in the center. Oh, and it shoots the massive hay bale. Kind of levels it a bit. that got a bit flat. I've never seen that, actually.
Yeah, the other ability that it's got, which is really cool, is the concrete piercing round, which can shoot straight through buildings.
Oh yeah, so, buildings and hedges and everything.
Yeah, so I mean, someone's hiding behind a building and think, oh, I'm safe here, that tank's not going to get me, and then they see a big round come through the building and destroy them.
I actually used it on the church on Kolodny once, and you know, I panned the camera down to see, and it actually leaves a big round hole in the building walls, in through one of the building walls and out through the other on the other side.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It looks very cool, I gotta say.
I do like the unit. I think it's a bit expensive, but it's a bit and it's also quite weak. It's not got very good armor.
It can be killed by a single P4. It gets too close to you and starts circle strafing you. It takes out your ISU without problems.
Yeah, it's not like, well, the Elephant is just a pure anti-vehicle unit.
Yeah.
But as well as that, it's got very good armor as well. Whereas the ISU has got about the equivalent armor of a T-34.
Yeah.
It's not
but
that
it's
amazing.
Very good against infantry.
Very good against infantry. Very good against tanks as well.
Maybe not the heavily armored ones, the extremely heavily armored ones like this Tiger, for example. I'm interested to see how much punishment it can actually deal, how much damage it can deal to this Tiger on the front.
I believe that this tank, though, the ISU does have the well, it's not really ability, but every shot it fires, it has a chance to stun a vehicle.
Oh yeah, crew shock.
Yeah, the IS-2 has it as well, I think, and the Tiger has it.
Yeah.
And the ISU has it.
I've seen Tigers do it on Su-85s, for example, getting a shot on the front that gets deflected, but the crew gets stunned or shocked or whatever, and you can't command your tank anymore. It just sits there.
Yeah, and Stoffa's building a mortar. It's half done. I think maybe he should have got one a bit earlier for these AT guns. I think even he should have went for the commander that had the mortar HT and the Tiger, which he does have, and he does have in the his arsenal.
Well, he went for the truck as well, so he got some more use out of his commander's choice, apart from this Tiger now, just wreaking havoc in the center. Go ISU, shoot at the Tiger already. AT gun shoots, gets vet 3. Here we go. Oh, he hits the infantry.
I think he's trying to clear out the infantry instead.
Yeah, just letting the AT gun do the job against this Tiger, which is doing a very good job at vet 3. Loads of damage, good penetration, pings the last shot on the Tiger, however. And all of the Soviet infantry is forced to retreat, combined with all of the German infantry forced to retreat as well. He's trying to go for the cutoff. What do you think about this, that MG bunker in the base, kind of covering your cutoff at the southern base? Honestly, they gotta fix that.
Yeah, I think they need to move that MG back a bit, because I remember in COH1 on Langris Guide, the bunker was in that spot, but it didn't cover the cutoff point.
Yeah, I think the range is just longer in Complicators too.
I think so, or possibly...
I've seen the same thing if you're Soviets. Same thing, it covers that cutoff point.
Yeah.
Nice grenade at MG in the building. 2 men down, quite a lot of health damage. A Vet 2 MG42. It's still alive. The shock trooper squad gets taken out on retreat by this Tiger, but it is fairly damaged. Cutoff point taken. Here comes a very nicely placed cluster bomb from Stoffa. Takes out the Vet 3 crew on that AT gun. Too bad. Did a little bit of health damage to the ISU-152. It did shock the crew, but it's not really that good against vehicles.
No, it's good for, you know, stunning and setting up your AT to take it out. But
yeah, you can stun it and then charge with your P4 or something like that.
Yeah, it's good for setting up, but it's not a good tank killer.
Yeah, but killing that one of the Vet 3 AT guns, there's still the second AT gun, which is also Vet 3. both of them in Vet 3. They have plenty of stuff to shoot at. Tiger, P4s, Flammenwerfer, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. It's you know, most people know, the vet is gained in this game by doing damage.
And
So
receiving damage as well.
receiving damage. Most of it comes from dealing damage, though.
It's 75-25, right? 75
Yes.
for dealing and 25% for receiving.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. One thing as well is that the AT guns don't have the white bars like in COH1 that tells you how much durability they have left. But between each engagement, it's always worth repairing the AT guns, especially as Germans, because the Su-85, if they do have them, the Su-85 for some reason is very good at killing crewed AT guns.
Oh yeah, it hits the
right?
the gun itself, not the crew members,
Yeah,
but the gun itself.
yeah. So it's something that I think in between engagements you should try, if you can, to repair the AT guns if they do get hit.
I do like this back tech for Spanky to tier 1 to pump out a sniper. I very rarely see people back tech nowadays. It's something that's kind of vanished for some reason. You know, in Company of Heroes 1, especially as the US faction, a lot of players would go, obviously, Rax for get their rifles, go for a quick motor pool M8, and then, you know, back tech to WSC to get the sniper out. But you don't really see that often in Company of Heroes 2. Why do you think that is?
It's mainly as Soviets. You don't see that much because the buildings cost a lot. Not they don't cost a lot. It's that they take a long time to build.
Yeah.
I think it's about 50 seconds for the tier 2 and about 40 for the tier 1. So that leaves a lot of time where your engineers aren't doing anything. And as well as that, they are quite expensive. I mean, tier 2 is 240 and 50 fuel. Tier 1 is 240 fuel as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's, you know, vehicle cost. So I mean, that's why you don't see a lot of the back teching from Soviets, at least. From Germans you do, because, you know, you do tech up. And although you might not build a building, say if you go tier 2 and you don't build a tier 2 building, you still build it because it's quite cheap. It's only about 20 fuel and 100 manpower or 80 manpower or something. So it's you know, they're a lot flexible in their back teching.
Yeah, I guess it is much easier when the cost is divided through an upgrade and the building itself, compared to the Soviets, which have everything in the building itself. And that's also the difference between the build times of the buildings. Is as far as I know, and I've asked some people, it is basically based on the cost of the building is equals the time of building the building. But I think someone said somewhere in the forums, one of the Reddit developers, that they were, or was it in some, I can't remember. They're looking into, you know, this back-teching stuff, you know, to make it more viable.
Yeah, I think they said they're going to look into it, but I'm not sure what they're going to do. But, you know, they're always as ominous. Or
yeah,
as
soon
they
trademark.
Soon trademark. I know. I think they're very scared of like telling us anything just in case it doesn't happen, and then we all want to, you know, kill them or something. So,
which happens.
Yeah, it does happen
in every game I think ever released. Someone has promised something that didn't happen, and someone would get angry at them. That's just the way of life, I guess.
Death threats, horse head in the bed, you know, stuff like that happens.
Knife on the door, in the door, with a note saying, "Where's my back-taking man?"
There's a precision bombing strike on the machine gun.
Oh, so much for that Vet 2 machine gun. Not recrewable either. The gun gets disintegrated by that bombing strike. Very expensive MG decrew, but at the same time, I'm not exactly sure what else would be his target.
Yeah, I think he was trying to go for the Tiger as well. That was there at the same time.
Combination.
Yeah. So Stoffa's got 2 Tigers now on the field. So he was saving up for a second. Yeah. So one is at about 60% health. The other one is full health now.
Yeah, I see he's moving over to the right-hand side. He might be trying to do a combined attack, but he needs something more. He's got 1 Gren Squad and 1 MG in the base. 1 Gren Squad on the left-hand side. Is that all that remains? MG just got nuked. Like, almost literally nuked, or not nuked, but very close to it at least, bombed to smithereens. And he had 3 Grens initially, but I guess he lost that one and never replaced it. No, I see, there's 3.
Yeah, no, three Grens, 1 mortar, an engineer squad, 2 Tigers, and an Opel Blitz truck.
So he did lose one of the Pyro squads somewhere. Must have missed that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What was the ISU shooting? Was that an attack ground move? I'm wondering.
May have been. I mean, what's Spanky?
It shot through the hedge.
I'm not sure if you can see
the hedge. It's gotta be attack round. Gotta be.
Must be. I mean, what he could do is just use a flare if he has the munitions. Just use a flare to... Ooh, nice shot from that Tiger. Kills most of that shock troop squad. He's got to get them out.
ISU delivers payback instantly by disintegrating almost an entire Gwen squad. 3 men down to 1 ISU 152 shot.
And this is a dangerous combo. The snipers and the ISU.
Oh, yeah. ISU delivers 1 shot and the snipers clean up. 1 man, Vet 3 Gwen squad gets sniped by a Soviet female sniper team. Taking them out. Goodbye, good night.
Yeah, very dangerous combo, anti-infantry wise.
There was an ISU shot on the Tiger. It did very good damage. That must have been a penetrating shot.
Yeah, I think the ISU's got 170 penetration as well. It does very good damage against tanks.
Very good against
Got
the Tiger.
huge range. I mean, the only disadvantage of it, obviously, is just the low armor. So it can't really withstand armored assault.
Looks like Stoffa wants to finish this. He wants to get rid of that ISU 152. He's trying to go in on a flank, but at the same time, Spanky sees him coming. He knows he's coming, and he is placing his AT guns to cover up this attack now. From these 2 Tigers moving in from Stoffa. 1 damage, down to 65% health or so. 1 just sliver damage dealt to it so far. AT guns opens up on it. ISU as well. Here comes the Tigers now, both charging. They will be going past these AT guns if they can. The ISU might have to defend itself soon. Tiger just bounced on the ISU, it did. That was lucky.
Yeah. Oh, he managed to get a good nade, turn, swivel the AT gun. He should try and quickly recruit that now.
Yeah, he needs to do something to try and save it. At the same time, the second AT gun gets decrewed by a Tiger-Pio combination. Shock troops are there, but nothing else in the vicinity. AT gun gets recrewed, trying to turn it around against the other one. Is this another cluster bomb? Fragmentation, I think?
No, it's a strafe.
Oh, strafe coming in.
And this ISU might be able to take out the other Tiger up in the top near the base.
Ooh, damage engine.
Oh.
ISU trying to reload, trying to get a shot off on this Tiger, out of control, but it is still alive. It's not over until that Tiger explodes. Second Tiger here as well to finish the job, even if the out of control Tiger couldn't have done it himself. Stoffa's not taking any chances, takes it out. ISU down, Tiger down. 1 AT gun remains for Spanky, 2 snipers, 1 conscript squad, 1 shock troop squad, and now a mortar as well. Did he steal that mortar, or did he build one himself from his tier 2? I wonder.
Yeah, he built that mortar. Yeah. That Tiger's going to run amok for a bit now.
There's not much to do for Spanky. He's gone for a triple cap of the VPs. He's got all of them in his possession. AT gun gets instantly decrewed by the Tiger here. And there's nothing in the base that can stop this Tiger right now. Shock troop squad retreats back to base. Snipers out capping, getting pinned by the strafe. But I believe that plane is actually leaving now. It's done its job. It's done its little strafing runs. How many does it do? It's 3 of it? 3 strafes or 4, and then it loiters a bit?
3 strafes, and in between it does loiter for a bit. But yeah, he did actually. I think he killed a sniper squad as well with that strafe.
Yeah, maybe so.
Good job killing the AT guns outright as well, so they can't be recruited. And Stoffa's queued up some Grens as well, because he's only got 1 Gren, 1 Pio, infantry-wise as well.
There is enough fuel in the bank for Spanky to replace his lost ISU, obviously manpower being the limiting factor right now. He's replacing his AT gun first, 1 AT gun queued up, 50% done or so. He has 1 sniper team remaining, 1 mortar, 1 combat engineer, 1 conscript, 1 shock trooper squad, and that's about it. How about Stoffa?
Stoffa's got 2 new Grenadiers, 1 Vet 2 Grenadier, a Vet 2 Pio squad, and a Tiger. Vet 1 Tiger.
Yeah, I think he is quite clearly ahead right now. Not territory-wise, though. Spanky is still in possession of the majority of the map, at least. He's just trying to chase off this Tiger with conscripts.
Yeah,
you know, I think he could have sat there and just gambled it, because the frontal armor of the Tiger is quite potent. Against 18-8s, I'm not exactly sure of the percentages, do you know?
Yeah, it's about a third, I think. It's the 18-8 is 100 penetration, the armor on the Tiger is 300. So 100 divided by 300, that's about a third. So it's
Yeah.
33% to crit from the front. Sorry, to not crit, for it to
Damage
actually do
engine,
damage. Yeah,
penetrating hits.
penetrate the hit. And from the rear, the Tiger rear armor is 200, so it's only 50% from the rear.
Okay.
I mean, that makes it as well, if you think about a ram which does 160 penetration, it doesn't have a 100% chance to disable the Tiger from either back or front.
Oh, not even a rear. It's just a little bit above 50% on the front against the Tiger. Oh, nice Soviet mine is going to at least slow this Tiger down. It's not going to kill it, even if it actually retreats back over this second mine planted as well from Spanky. And there's one at his left-hand side, or left hand of his cutoff. There's another mine as well. It's been laying there for quite a while. Stoffa just hasn't hit it yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's always good. I mean, from COH1 days, people just put lots of mines, and as Soviets, you can do that because the mine is multi-purpose, unlike the German one. Although there is some advantage to the German one being only triggered by vehicles, because
so it's
because
not
it
wasted by a PIO, for example.
Yeah, the other thing as well is that people, unless they've got radio intercepts, people won't think, oh, I need to build minesweepers because they haven't tripped on any mines. So it's sort of a psychological thing about them too, the German ones, because they don't get triggered by men. You don't think he's put down any mines.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one.
What about very rarely we saw me and Tommy cast at a 2v2 with Daniel D and Twister a few days ago, and we saw some sweepers there. Something that I don't really see in 1v1s. In a Vico, for example, there was basically always a sweeper. Either faction, US or Wehrmacht, doesn't really matter. There was always a sweeper because there would always be mines.
Yeah, I think because the Germans, they don't have those all-purpose mines that the Soviets have, then players don't tend to build the minesweepers as Soviets. They think, oh, I'll get a flamer instead, help me clear out buildings.
Yeah.
And they don't really realize that the telemines are actually extremely dangerous against their vehicles.
It can literally one-hit a T-70 from full health, can't it?
It always does. The mine does more damage than the T-70 health.
Oh, yeah. But it's still gonna roll a death crit, doesn't it? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen a T-70 hit a teller mine and not die. Get the critical, destroyed engine, main gun blown up, but it's still alive.
No, I think as long as the shot deals... I think the way everything dies in this game is that it's got the set amount of health, and you have to deal... So say it has 80 health, you have to deal 81 damage to kill it.
Yeah.
So it might have been that something else triggered the teller mine and it wasn't directly on top of it, and there was splash. There's a lot of... there's a lot of reasons why it might not work, but most of the time a T-70 will die from one contact with a telemine.
Yeah, and it does, I don't know, 2/3 health damage to a T-34 mint condition when you hit a teller mine. It does a lot of damage. How much damage does a teller? Yeah, heavy engine damage, yeah. And
I think it's 500.
500, yeah.
damage.
I thought it was 500 as well.
So it's about 500 damage, and a T-34's got 640 HP.
Yeah, it's kind of like Sherman, I think.
Yeah.
Like that's 640.
Yeah.
Sounds reasonable. Back to the game. Another sniper has been built, and it will, no doubt put some pressure to the infantry. Tiger was repaired up by double PIOs. I guess Stoffa did replace it just to get some speedy repairs on the field with 2 PIOs instead of 1. But, there are 2 AT guns again from Spanky. There's a huge fuel bank for Spanky as well. 500 fuel in the bank. Obviously, manpower is still being the limiting factor, and he doesn't really have any tech buildings apart from Tier 1 and Tier 2. There's no tanks in those 2 tiers. But he can still get an ISU 152 on the field again, if he feels the need to do that. But I don't know if he even needs it. Right now, he's owning the majority of the map, and he's putting on enormous pressure to the German player Stoffa now.
Yeah, he is. I mean, the Tiger has trouble getting about because he's put down a lot of mines. The AT guns, obviously, they do quite good damage against the Tiger, even the non-vet ones. So, it's quite tricky for the Tiger to move about.
Yeah, and it can't do everything alone. It needs support, and the shock troops, combined with double snipers, are going to be able to counter most infantry squads from the Germans. There are some Grens with LMGs, unvetted, however. There's some PIOs that can't really do anything against shock trooper squads, superior armor, for example. And combined with some grenades, some nice uses of smoke grenades from Shock Troop as well against the MG. You know, it feels to me that once again Spanky is in charge of this game.
Yeah, he's in charge. He's got most of the map. He's got, you know, a decent AT solutions for the Tiger as well. He could get an ISU 152 if he needs one as well.
I think he's saving up for one. Not exactly sure, but I believe he's saving up for one. I'm pretty sure he's not reinforcing. No, okay, he's reinforcing his conscript. I was gonna say he's not gonna reinforce it until he gets the ISU on the field, but he's actually going to reinforce his AT gun and Coaching Squad back in the base.
Stoffa's 30. No, he's about to have enough manpower for Tiger, so I think he's going to call another one out now.
So double Tigers again on Longer Skya.
Yep.
2 AT guns on the field. Combined with the mines, it's most likely going to be enough, but obviously it's a bit of a gamble that it will actually be hitting any mines. If he gets again, you know, if he gets a nice hit on one of the AT guns and basically instantly decrews it, you know, one shot each from each Tiger, and then just moves on to the second one, it could be extremely problematic with only one conscript squad remaining for Spanky to deliver AT nades, which, as we said before, you know, penetration values are the greatest.
And
Shock Trooper squad just snuck into the Axis base and just stole the MG and ran away.
Yeah, he snuck through the hedge. The hedge got run down, I think, by a Tiger.
Yeah, I think so.
And then, yeah, the Shock Trooper squad just ran straight into the base, killed the crew, and ran off with a machine gun.
He just stole it. He just went in and stole it. He killed a medic as well. How cruel is Spanky?
Yeah, good move. Now he's got, you know, some extra area denial now. This is an IL-2 bombing run.
Another bombing run coming in, yeah. But the Grens will be not even near the vicinity. But there's some Grens running right into the bombs as they land, killing 2 guys. Here comes the 2 Tigers now against the 2 AT guns. One of them gets rifle naded. Not much damage done to the crew, however. But these 2 Tigers are getting some nice hits in on one of them. Instantly almost decrews it. AT gun number 1 is down. There's actually a 3rd AT gun, or which will now be the 2nd AT gun on the field, because this one in the field is going to be decrewed as well, and they can easily be destroyed now by these Tigers. He's gonna opt to go for the destruction of the AT gun itself instantly with the Tigers. He's now turning his turrets against the 2nd one, but he's taking hits from this 3rd AT gun that Spanky just produced, using Blitzkrieg on his Tiger to get out of dodge without losing it. Vet 2 now for that Tiger is going to be problematic to deal with, I think, for Spanky.
Very problematic. I mean, he's only got that 1 AT gun. He's not in a good shape at the moment, you know, to deal with these 2 Tigers.
This could be, you know, annihilation right here. 2 Tigers in the base against 1 AT gun.
Yeah, and you know, one's on pretty good health. One has got about 30% health.
And Vet 2 though, so the damage reduction is quite hefty.
Yeah.
And this AT gun is just, it's toast.
Yeah. I mean, what Spanky could do now, he's got some infantry units on the field. Stoffa's still got a couple of Grenadier squads as well, but he could possibly just try and go for triple cap and maybe bleed some VPs before his base gets destroyed.
He opted to go for an ISU 152, but I think he should have called it in from the other spot, not closest to the Tigers, where they can actually deal damage to the ISU. It should be working with its superior range, but it looks like Stoffa is actually leaving.
Yeah, and he didn't finish killing that AT gun. And now Spanky's recruited with his
oh yeah, that one in the field,
squad.
Of course.
Yeah.
He's gonna be using Blitzkrieg on his Vet 2 Tiger again. ISU is in hot pursuit, trying to take out this unvetted one first. Oh, there goes that AT gun. Gets destroyed permanently by the unvetted Tiger. ISU 152 is chasing after, might be getting one more shot off, but I don't think so. Those Tigers are actually surprisingly speedy.
Yeah, they are. They were changed.
Oh,
ran over mine. Nice. What they did, they changed the speeds on the tank. They actually reduced the speed. At the top speed, what they did, they improved the acceleration on it.
Oh yeah.
So it gets to those top speeds much quicker.
But we do have Spanky doing exactly what you said, going for the triple cap while that mayhem was ensuing in his base.
Yeah, it's a good move. Get some VPs down. So now Stoffa's no low on VPs, and that Tiger's about to die now, the unvetted one.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna die. There's nothing to really stop this ISU 152 from killing it now. Wow, it's actually going to go for the vetted one. which uses Blitzkrieg to try and get out of dodge again. Don't think it... Oh, he's just gonna go right for this ISU. Gets one shot off, deflects on the frontal armor of this Tiger with Blitzkrieg. It's way, way faster than this ISU, and it is fairly unsupported. There is a conscript squad, Vet 3, which can deliver a damage engine or a destroyed engine to this Tiger, which might tip the tide. Let's see if he gets lucky with the penetration hit. That's 1/3 for you right there.
He got lucky that time. Very lucky.
ISU 152 taking some punishment from this Tiger. He is going to aim his gun and deflect once again against this Vet 2 Tiger, and not killing that unvetted Tiger. He's parked in the enemy base right now, but I'm not sure. Is he trying to combat repair his Tiger while moving with the Pios? That will never work. He should most likely retreat the Pios and, you know, get to work on his unvetted Tiger, which is still alive.
Yeah, and also the sniper. Oh, and he's got it.
Blitzkrieg used to get additional speed while having the damage ending, but gets crew shocked, which will halt it for a while. Here it goes. Vet 2 Tiger bites the dust. ISU 152 wins that engagement, combined with the Vet 3 Conscript 18. Here comes the Faust in. Oh, gets the...
And a deflect as well. That's quite unfortunate too.
Very unfortunate for Stoffa right now.
But the snipers, yeah, they're plugging away at the German infantry, doing their job. So the ISU as well. Where's he got? Conscript. But yeah, it's been interesting as well. I think maybe those Tigers got, well...
They got
I
don't know,
yeah.
They should have, you know, at the same time it felt like it was, you know, very aggressive move to move in against the first ISU and the 2 AT guns, and then, you know, move in again against 3 AT guns. He obviously only knew there were 2 on the field, which he made short work of very quickly. But then he didn't really push against the ISU coming onto the field, and I thought it was a mistake from Spanky calling it in so closely to the 2 Tigers in his base. They could have just, you know, parked right next to it.
Yeah, he could have done that.
I think it would have killed the ISU before it would have been able to kill any of the 2 Tigers.
Yeah, he could have went for just killing that ISU instead of retreating from it, because he could have easily done it. You know, the 2 Tigers would have had no problem killing that thing. It's not that difficult to kill with, you know, even like, as you said earlier, P4.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising to me. Stoffa showing, you know, very aggressive German play, pushing his Tiger into the enemy territory and the AT guns going for the circle strafes and stuff like that. But then, you know, he chokes a bit. He gets wary and, yeah, I don't want to push against an ISU, and moves away.
Yeah, I think
shocking decision.
Went for it really. Just went and killed it with the 2 Tigers. You know, and then dealt with the AT gun. Well, I don't think he knew the AT gun was there at the time.
No, I don't think so either. So, back to the action when both players are licking their wounds a little bit, because they've been dealing quite a lot of damage to their opposing armies over and over again. Quite a lot of replacements coming in to the fields of Longer Sky after this game.
Yeah, Stoffa's built another Grenadier squad now, just to supplement it. He's probably going to get an LMG on that one.
Did the snipers just shoot at the tier 3 building?
Yeah, I think they did.
What? There we go. Now he's shooting at the Grens. This makes sense.
Yeah, he's got to be careful, because he could, you know, lose them. I mean, the one sniper squad has only got 1 person in it, and the
oh yeah, it's spotterless, I guess.
Yeah. So he's got to be careful. That ISU's on like a 3rd health as well. He has to be really careful here.
Here we go. The unvetted Tiger is fully repaired, moving into the field, gets instant crew shock, and there is an AT gun guarding this ISU 152, and there is a new combat engineer squad called in for Spanky to repair his tank as well.
Yeah, I also believe though that this commander that Spanky has the conscript repair package too.
Yes, but he only has 1 conscript, and that's fighting over the southern VP.
Yeah.
He wants to retain his triple cap to drain Stoffa out of his last remaining 14 VPs now. Not many seconds left on this game if he doesn't get the 2 VPs in control, 1 in the center or outside of the Soviet base and his own.
So this Tiger's going for it. He's going to try and kill both this AT gun and the ISU, but I don't think he can do it in time. 3-1. No.
He's running for the center VP in the center with a Gren squad. He started decapping it, but wasn't fast enough. He only managed to white the VP outside of the German base. The game stops a bit abruptly during an attack. This Tiger against the ISU and the AT gun. It's one thing attacking 2 AT guns with one Tiger, but one Tiger against one AT gun, supplemented by another tank. I don't think he would have gotten that anyway, even if he managed to stop the VP drain in time.
Yeah, I know. It would have been... He might have been able to get both, but it would have been... The Tiger would have been massively crippled. It would have had some horrible status on it, no doubt.
Yeah, very low. Even if he stopped the drain at, 10 VPs or something, it wouldn't be the biggest problem in the world for Spanky just to drain the remaining few VPs that Stoffa would have had remaining anyway. So... either way, even if he managed to stop the drain and, kill the ISU and maybe the AT gun as well with the Tiger, I don't think he would have been able to stage a comeback at this point.
No. It was a couple of things that, that cost him it. He could have, not lost the P4 that early against the 2 AT guns.
Yeah.
As well as that, those 2 Tigers, when the ISU popped out, he could have killed it as well then. He had the opportunity to. So there's a couple of things, and Spanky was quite solid throughout most of the game. He did lose the early game advantage quite about 5 to 6 minutes in, but then he managed to get it back with some good AT gun placement, some good mine placement, and some good harassment of Stoffa's points.
Yeah, bit of a gamble from Spanky calling in that shock trooper squad before seeing, if Stoffa was going for tier 2 or something. He should probably have done some more scouting, but he was pushed back into his base, and he needed something to deliver a bit of a punch to the enemy tier 1 infantry, the grenadiers and the MG. So he went for the shock trooper squad, obviously. So it worked out in the end, but at that time, he calls in a shock trooper squad. And 5 seconds later, he sees the Flammenwerfer, which is like basically the natural predator of the shock trooper squad, because it can't defend itself against the German half-track. So,
yeah,
very nicely played from both players. Thanks, guys, for watching, and thanks for joining me once again, IpKai. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and like the video, and tell all your friends, and we'll see you guys for the next episode.
Thanks. Bye-bye, guys.